Hello Capricorn and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection, so we're going to look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section is looking at what is the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Further reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation at this time and to leave what does not. On that note, and especially if you're a cross watcher, just know that this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that is totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Capricorn, let's jump on in. So we're going to start with looking at, as always, overall energy for the connection through oracle cards, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. But let's first start with your overall energy toward the person you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. So the connection, the dynamic that you are needing to learn from the most at this time. Capricorn side of this connection. This drama card. I feel like this connection adds a lot of stress to your life. Not always or all the time, but I do feel that. And then I also feel like there's this energy of holding back your feelings, how you really feel, what you really want, divine timing. I feel like there's one more I need. But I feel like there's a reason, maybe waiting for the right time here. Ooh, dead end with know your worth. And then love. I do feel like there are, you have, very strong feelings for this person. But I also feel that it feels like this connection isn't able to go past a certain point. Like, it's like there's this level of commitment that you're desiring or level of vulnerability or depth that you're wanting, that it just feels like it's like you keep pushing, you keep trying, and it's just not, it's like it's not getting there, it's not evolving. Now, I do feel like divine timing is at play in your work, or in your love life, but I also feel that there's a lot more to it than just that. And especially with this know your worth card, because it's hard, right? When we see the potential in something and we want it to evolve into that potential, but yet we're accepting less than what it is that we desire in the moment. We're holding on to something because we want it to eventually align with our worth, but we're accepting less than what we truly deserve in the moment, which can complicate things. But yeah, I do feel like this connection adds quite a bit of stress to your life here. And again, it's like you're holding back how you really feel for some reason. Maybe out of fear of losing it, maybe because it hasn't mattered in the past. I'm not quite sure. But let's look at this person's energy toward you, Capricorn. Patience, grief and sadness, robotic with manipulation. This person shut down or shuts down. Maybe when you talk about anything serious or when you try to bring up problems that you have, maybe that's why you've learned, or maybe that's why you hold back how you feel. It's like you've learned that being honest about your feelings or your needs doesn't really matter. It feels like this person either is going through a lot or has been through a lot in their life, which is never an excuse, to put your burdens onto other people. But I do feel like this person it's like there's a lot more to the story than you might think, because it's like you're waiting on this person to reciprocate or like to commit or to, because again, you're wanting some sort of outcome, right? It's like you're waiting until that gets there. And I feel like this person, because this patience card kind of feels like this energy that you carry in this connection, but this person recognizes it and does appreciate it. I feel like they know that it's like you're always there for them. You're very supportive. But then at the same time, it feels like it's like they shut down whenever things get real here. Which, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know yet. Truth of this connection between Capricorn and this person. It's like they shut down or they pull back. I kind of get, because this robotic energy kind of gives the energy of shutting down. Truth of the connection between Capricorn and this person. And maybe this connection is in separation because of this person shutting down. Truth of the connection between Capricorn and this person. Optimism. So I feel, Capricorn, like you've spent a lot of time in this connection holding out hope for things to get to that place that you want them to be. And there's a separation card on the back here. So it could be in separation. There's definitely a distance here. There's like a distance, whether it's emotionally or physically, or the connection is actually in separation. I'm not quite sure, but I feel like you're waiting for things to come back together, waiting for things to eventually evolve into something that aligns with what it is that you desire. And I think that you're trying to hold on to that optimism that, things can improve, that this person will eventually show up, will eventually be there. But it's like, no matter what, in this connection, it always feels like things are unfinished. I feel like it always feels like this connection is never quite reaching its potential. And that's what I feel like is making it hard for you to follow your heart or to do what's best for you, is like you see that potential. So part of you is like, well, if things did work out, this would be so good. Like maybe even the best you've ever had or ever experienced. And you're like, I really, really want to have what this could be. But then in the meantime, it feels like you're kind of in this position of having to put up with a lot. And again, it's like this adds a lot of stress, a lot of chaos to your life. And that confusion is very real, because I feel like you're like not sure what to do. You know what you want, but only so much of that is in your control, right? So yeah, this is definitely complicated here. But let's see what we've got for the overall theme of this reading. Overall theme of the reading between Capricorn and this person. It's like if there is separation, this person is upset about it, but they're so shut down. It's like they're so disconnected from themselves emotionally. Maybe they're choosing, distraction, or I don't know. Overall theme of this connection. What does Capricorn need to know about this connection? Feel specific. Ignoring the pain. And I just said that about this person. It's never over. You don't love me, you love me. That's so interesting. It's like this back and forth. It's like there's moments where you're like, no, this person really loves me. They really care about me. They want to be with me. They're just going through a lot of it. They're struggling, or, they're emotionally unavailable or whatever. And then you're like, oh, they don't care about me at all. They don't love me. I've been taken advantage. It's like this flip-flop. And it's very back and forth. And I feel like it makes things really hard for you, because sometimes you feel that this person cares. You feel that this person, wants this connection to work. But then there's other times where I feel like, they couldn't care less. And it's just around and around again. And it's almost like it's creating a cycle here. Huh. Okay. Let's dive into this a little bit deeper. Okay, let's see what we've got here, Capricorn. Let's look at your side of this. Divine timing with drama. Capricorn's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with, or needing to learn the most from right now. So you have the Chariot in reverse, which is kind of giving that same energy as dead end. King of Wands, you could be dealing with a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You don't have to be, because I also see this as something else. Knight of Cups in reverse. The Five of Cups. There's a lot of, and this is kind of what I was talking about with the King of Wands here, is that there's a lot of really passionate energy here. I feel like both people in this connection really do genuinely care about the other person a lot. Here you are. Queen of Pentacles, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. I just feel like this is your energy. Six of Cups with the Four of Cups. Okay. I feel like you've put a lot into this connection, potentially for a long time. And I feel like it's like you have all of this hope that things are going to work and that things are going to progress and things are going to get to where you want them to be. And then something happens and it kind of feels like hitting a brick wall, and it's very triggering, and maybe there's a fallout, or maybe there's a conflict, and things are really like dramatic. And I don't mean dramatic in the sense that you're being dramatic, but it's just like a big thing and it's super emotionally charged. And then it's like you go through that and then it sucks for a while, and then you're back to wanting things to be good. Because then it's like because then it's like you go through those periods where then again they're making you feel like they love you and they're making you feel like they care about you, but then you go through those periods again where you feel like they don't, and it's so up and down. And I feel like it's hard because there's so much that there's so much potential, right? That you see that this person has, that this connection has even. And I feel like that's what makes it hard to let go or to kind of step away from this for good, is because it's like you want them to change and you feel like they really can. And sometimes they show promise that they're changing, but then it's like right back to the beginning, right back to the start, hitting that brick wall, hitting that dead end. It's like things never pass that point. And I think that, you're with the Magician here, and then the kind of following with the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like you're showing up in this in the best way that you know how. And I'm not saying you've been perfect. I'm not saying you haven't made mistakes. We all do. We all have. But it feels like it's hard because you're showing up in this in the best way that you know how, and then you're not receiving that same amount of effort from this person. It kind of feels like they do certain things, or again, like shut down or pull back, or I don't know. And then you're left going, what the hell? I thought we were on track. I thought things were good. But then there's such a passionate energy that draws you back together. My goodness. Yeah. It's very left, right, up, down. So you've been in this Five of Cups energy a lot in this connection, especially this Knight of Cups in reverse, kind of with the Five of Cups. It's very like, emotionally draining kind of energy where you're trying your best to, be, it's like you're trying your best to be what they need or what you think that they need. But then it never seems to be enough. And it's not that you're not enough. It's not that it's not enough. I feel like we'll get more when we dive in over here. So, boy, oh boy, is this complicated. I feel like this is something that has been really difficult for you to make sense of. Because again, there's such a strong pull here, so much passion and potential. All right, let's look at this person's energy toward you. I said romantic almost. Robotic with grief and sadness. Maybe this person can be very romantic. This person's energy toward you, Capricorn. King of Wands again. So definitely could be dealing with a fire sign. But again, I feel like that's just speaking to this, this passion that exists here. Ooh, but the Emperor in reverse. Okay, Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Cups. Yeah, no. I totally understand why this is confusing. Because I mean, they're very what is the word? Chariot in reverse again. It's interesting that you had both of the King of Wands and the Chariot in reverse. And then there's the Knight of Wands in reverse with the Six of Cups too. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense why. I feel like this person it's like all gas, no brakes until they're all brakes, no gas. It's like there's no middle ground. It's like they're either very present and showing up and almost like giving you all of this wonderful energy, or like just totally removed. And again, that comes from that's like this shut down kind of energy that they get into. Because again, I feel like, well, this is an energy, Knight of Wands in reverse, of self-sabotage, but also of lacking vulnerability. So I feel like they sabotage because they lack the ability to be vulnerable. So since this connection is so intense for both people, it's very passionate, it's very promising, it's very exciting, it provides them with this emotional high almost. I mean, for both of you, I think it is. It's like this emotional high. It's like things are so wonderful and exciting, but then it's like as good as things can be just as bad. But it's interesting because they can be just as bad because of the way that this person responds when things get, it's like when they get good, this person starts feeling like they're getting too good. It's like they shut down when the feelings get real, when the feelings get intense, because this Emperor in reverse definitely dictates or shows that they need to dictate or have control is a good way of saying that. This person needs control. And I feel like you and this connection makes them feel like they don't have control because you make them feel a lot of things. And that's very scary to somebody who needs control, because it's like, they're afraid to be vulnerable. That requires them to trust that you're not going to hurt them or break their heart or leave them or whatever. And of course you're like, I don't want to do that. I just want this to work. But I feel like it's harder than that because it runs really deep, because I feel like this person It's like they carry a lot of this grief and sadness energy I thought was about the connection. And though I do feel that there is a little bit of that is still there about the connection, I feel like this is something they carry. It's like they carry a lot of grief. They carry a lot of sadness, maybe from their past, from past experiences. They've been hurt before. Now, we're all adults here. At least you should be if you're watching these videos. We're all adults here. We've all been hurt in the past. But it's never fair for us to put that past pain onto our current partners. Because what that's saying is like my trauma I'm projecting onto you, right? So it's like they've been hurt before. They expect you to hurt them. So before you have the chance to do that, not that you're going to, or that's your intention, they go, well, let me just pull back my energy. Let me shut down. Let me protect myself from getting hurt. And that's where that dead end comes from. And I feel like it's typically very out of the blue. Maybe they have a tendency to, blow up, or make something out of nothing, create arguments where there doesn't need to be one. It's like, it's a very emotionally immature energy. It's like they don't have control over like their feelings. Because remember, 95% of our movement, choices, and decisions stem from our subconscious. So a lot of the things that this person is doing is just how they're wired. Very wired for survival, wired for control. And I feel like, again, especially with the Ace of Cups, like this connection makes them feel a lot of things. 9 of Cups, like it very much aligns with what they desire. And all of that, it just increases the extent of their vulnerability, because it's like this aligns so much with what they desire. If they were to like fully let go and let this happen, then they're opening themselves up to potentially getting hurt, right? But that's what relationships are. It's opening yourself up to potentially getting hurt. But it feels like this person hasn't healed their past pain. They haven't done the healing of the things that they've been through in the past. So that's why their energy is so all or nothing, because they desire this. So they put a lot of this energy into this connection because they care about you. They want to make this work. But then their trauma kicks in, their triggers kick in, their whatever, their projections kick in. And it's like, that's why they pull back their energy and they shut down. So they shut down and they pull away when they start to feel overwhelmed, because they're projecting onto you the expectation of you hurting them. And that's, of course, not fair to you. I feel like this person makes a lot of very unhealthy, emotion-driven decisions. And I think that they do it because they haven't emotional regulation and the ability to regulate your emotions is incredibly, I just said the same thing, but it's incredibly important for healthy relationships. Because again, we're all adults here, right? We're all going to have triggers. We're all going to have traumas. We're all going to have pasts. But the difference between a healthy relationship and an unhealthy relationship is, in a healthy relationship, both people are aware of their stuff and they're working on it. They're not making it the other person's problem. And it feels like this person, they have a lot of stuff, but it feels like they're really putting it on the connection and on you. And that's not something that you're going to be able to bear, because that's not fair. That's not how, first of all, nobody can bear somebody else's pain forever, because you got your own stuff, right? And second of all, we can't heal, fix, or change other people, especially if they're not working on healing, fixing, saving, or changing themselves. So it feels like this person is got a lot of growing to do before they're going to be able to be in this in a healthy way. So the question isn't, what can I do to get them to change? Because I feel like that's kind of been the focus. How can I get this person to commit? How can I get this person to be consistent? That's emotional inconsistency. I feel like that's what it is. But I feel like your question is, how can I get this person to be what it is that I deserve? And you're waiting and you have all of this patience and you're willing to put your needs to the side. But what we accept is what we attract. So if we're accepting less than what we deserve, hoping that eventually it's going to change into something better, we're actually going to attract more of what it is that we're accepting, which is less than what we deserve. And so, the question isn't, how can I get this person to change? It's looking at the mirror, because when we're trying to fix, change, heal, or save someone else, there's a part of us that's trying to fix, change, or heal ourselves through them. And, it's not, how can I change them? But it's, how is this asking me to change myself? Not change to be better for them, but to change to be better for you. You know, what we're lacking in other people, we often are lacking within ourselves. If we're not experiencing the love that we deserve, the consistency that we deserve, the respect or compassion that we deserve from others, it's not because that's all that we deserve, but it's often because they're a reflection. I mean, other people are always a reflection of our relationship with ourselves. And when other people won't choose us, won't you know, when other people are doing certain things, it's so important to look at the mirror to figure out what's in my control here, because what's not in your control is other people. But it does make sense why you're really confused by this person's behavior. I think it's important to know that the way that they're acting has nothing to do with you, and there's nothing that you can do to change their behavior. So again, taking a step back and looking at, okay, so what's in my power and what's in my control is incredibly important. In between this connection, you have confusion with unfinished business. I'm going to hop on over to the extended, looking at the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in alignment with your higher self. Thank you so much, Capricorn, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Capricorn.